suggestions were that we continued our lobbying efforts with our representatives and senators. The resolution subcommittee and Gary last night talked about how we are going to continue to lobby our both of our senators and also our reps to sign on co-sponsor Representative Jayapal's legislation that's coming up, and to keep introducing that War Powers resolution over and over again, kind of like they are doing with Iran. And also focusing on the few Republican senators who do not support a war right now against Cuba, and trying to see if we can bring their votes in to make that a little bit...
let me see one thing about that.
Yeah.
So the Resolutions Committee decided last week, and we were writing a letter to a list of Republican Congress, a little bit on the edge, maybe not very, and really encouraging them. And we're going to get, there's a national coalition of groups that's going to send the letter, and it's really to encourage. You know, we always don't pay attention to the Republican Congress people, and I think we need to start. The ones that aren't too terrible to say thank you if they're doing something. So that's a new effort that's never been done before. So.
That's awesome. Thank you. That was on my list. Thanks, Marcy. And Marcy and Nancy Yamada from Building Relations with Cuban Labor just finished the updated labor resolution. So if you are someone who would like to bring to your local union or your faith-based organization, these resolutions can be used at a city council level. You know, feel free to reach out to us or reach out to Marcy. She has a copy of that, and those are really helpful in our lobbying efforts with elected officials to say, look at how many of your constituents support Cuba right now. Other ideas for strategies last night was talking about how we can use Cuba's medical research, the Alzheimer's vaccination, lung cancer vaccination, diabetes vaccination, to really raise awareness and do a lot of that public education, you know, that August talked about in his speech, to let others know and build awareness in our own communities about, you know, the need to normalize relations with Cuba, not only for the Cubans but also for ourselves. And another thing that was suggested was that the cities in the United States that have FIFA events going on will leaflet and try to do actions at the games, because there's so many people with eyes on those sports games. Another thing that was suggested was organizing coordinated banner drops across all different cities simultaneously, and also potentially a national march on Washington. And things that we can continue doing that were mentioned that I feel like we have been doing in the last several months and years have been writing letters to the editor and participating in radio programs to raise awareness. So those were just a few. I'm sure I forgot a bunch of strategies and actions that were suggested, but maybe it'd be better to sort of open it up to everybody and see what people are interested in pursuing here. August.
Do you want to report on the report back meeting that's going to be here at Mayday Bookstore? Yeah.
Sure, yes. On June 7th, which is Sunday, June 7th at 2 p.m., Greg, who's part of the Minnesota Cuba Committee, Jackie, who is AFSCME Local 2474, and myself from SCOTA will be giving a report back. We just recently returned from Cuba for May Day, and we're on different delegations. And so please, we would love it if you would come Sunday, June 7th at 2 p.m. And then I also want to mention that on June 3rd, Gary, who's a member of the Minnesota Cuba Committee, and Marcy from SCOTA and a few others will be working in collaboration with the U.S.-Cuba normalization to give a Zoom webinar. So we'll send out all of that information to the people when they sign up on the list.
Who wanted coffee? I know you wanted coffee.
Yeah, thank you.
Where's Carla?
Right.
Oh,
I don't
who
know.
else wants coffee?
Thank you.
So, one suggestion was if we had a sign making party to make some updated signs regarding the more recent rapid response needs for Cuba. So I'm gonna just kind of take notes about people's ideas. Thank you, Sam.
I support that because we don't have any signs really right now, and so it would be good to get some new signs.
Okay. Just
We have a few, like that one. I love that one.
what? Anybody have any other suggestions that they would like to pursue? Yeah.
I just wanted to say two things, which came out of this meeting last night. One is that every area should have a system for if they do invade, you know, where are we gonna go, what time, and people know to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
Yes.
but we just set that and we make it publicly known. And then the second thing was that anything that we can do now publicly, like what we just did upstairs, you know, to attract attention to the issue and what's happening would be very important. And it does seem to me that, you know, building this report back, finding, you know, something else that we can just put it in the public's eye, which I think these traffic places, like right out here, or the, what do you call it, the bridge or the walk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And to piggyback off of what Helen just mentioned, last night one of the suggestions was to think about a rapid response plan in case of military intervention, and a lot of people suggested outside of the federal building, or you know, if there were embassies in their cities, but you know, federal building might be an option here. And we could take the list that's being passed around and also add people in that were here and couldn't make it to the meeting, and start sending out kind of weekly notifications of all of these events happening.
Another thing that every Wednesday at 4:00 on the Lake Street Bridge, there's people holding up signs, you know, flags, you know, try to get attention because of so much traffic coming in. And that, you know, if you're on your own and you're just thinking, I want to do something for Cuba today, you can just go there with your sign or with a flag and just stand on the bridge and wave the flag and, you know, show the sign, and people honk at you and are really positive. So I really want to encourage people to do that. You don't have to be part of a group to.
We have signs there too for.
Yeah, they have signs too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if they have Cuba signs.
We need to get more.
We don't right now,
Oh, okay.
but we could.
I think another thing that was mentioned at last night's meeting was that there'll be a media toolkit. But one thing we might want to think about is crafting some like ongoing, you know, everybody taking maybe a different week to send in letters to the editor to different publications. It doesn't just have to be the major ones, but that would be helpful too, like Star Tribune or Pioneer Press, but it could be our local neighborhood newspapers too, like North News, Insight News, wherever you live.
I've been very impressed at the pickets that I've been to, at the number of cars honking, and, and I'm kind of old school. Maybe that social media is not reaching everyone. If we had leaflets with information on it, like you were talking about, and especially before some kind of action that's called in the city, I'm sure people in those cars would take it. Maybe they'd show up, bring friends, you know, a little bit more public outreach.
It's a great idea.
There was a campaign with postcards, which had a little bit of information that you could hand out, like to all the cars that are going by. And I don't know what happened, if they're gonna do an up-to-date postcard. It's a national campaign, it's actually out of Canada. And if we could do those postcards and have, because it's just what you're talking about, where if you hand a postcard to people, at least it's something they can read quickly and.
And if it builds an action,
Yeah,
I might be
right.
interested in coming, I don't know.
Yes, great. So we could check about the postcards and create leaflets for future events to hand out when we're doing pickets like this. Perfect. And I think we do have the Minnesota Cuba Committee and SCOTA does have leaflets for the new neonatal, fundraising drive through Saving Lives. So we could also print some of those and pass out those at these pickets as well.
And I think the ones about Alzheimer's would be really good, because so many people have been impacted by Alzheimer's in their families, and if we could hand out something about that, it would be really good. I don't know if do you know if they have anything like that?
Have anything like,
Like a flyer about the Alzheimer's campaign?
you can go to cubaheal.com, which is a Canadian company that's working on it and doing a lot of medical tourism.
Cuba Heal?
Oh, Cuba Heal.
Cuba, Heal, cubaheal.org.
In the Belly of the Beast, which is a really good journalistic outlet that covers Cuba, it did a really nice short video called Teresita's Dream about the Alzheimer's vaccination, and it was really it was short but provided so much information, and I think that's a good thing to sort of share too.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah. Okay, I'll send out the link to that in the notes.
I think there's a documentary on that.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking of. We discussed it in the Minnesota Cuba Committee, trying to get a hold of it and showing it in conjunction with the medical school.
You can show it now. They had it. You had to sign up, but now it's just free to. At least
now it's available.
this one, yeah.
Oh, that's what it is.
Teresita's
I
Dream.
didn't know if
Yeah.
it was a different one or that.
No, it's about 20 minutes or so, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the one that interviews the doctor and
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. There's a couple that interview the doctor. If you just Google his name, Blanchett, Blanchet, out of Boulder, Colorado.
And so, is that a suggestion? Maybe we should consider showing that
Yeah.
short documentary at the main and having, in conjunction with the medical school, and having like a Q&A panel?
Should I share my personal?
Yes.
Just to let people know, I'm applying to Cuba Heal for Alzheimer's treatment and are hoping to go there soon.
Yay. Oh.
I'll tell you about it when I get back, if, of course, Cuba hasn't been attacked.
Wow. And when would you be looking at going, Carla? Do you know?
Well, the Cuban doctors are reviewing my papers right now to see. So I have no idea. That's one of the questions I need to get. Yeah.
Wow, that would be great. Okay. I mean, it would be super to have a report back from Carla, too.
What happened to me?
Yeah. Look what happened to me. Yes. Who knows?
Okay.
Just one other thing. The Cuban ambassador was just here a few weeks ago and met with a broad range of organizations and people that we might want to keep in mind if there's any, not that they're going to get involved, She met with the Farmers Union and people on the city council, the agriculture secretary, they're thinking deals, but to just let them know, if we can get more of I think Gary and Greg definitely knows. So if there is an action,
Yes.
if the manure hits the fan and we do the federal building, just to let them know,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
We're doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not come, but they might say, well, can you come and talk to our group about it or something?
Mm-hmm.
But we're
Rather
sure
than just let
mention
that just go,
David.
you know?
Yes, like Tom Peterson, the Commissioner of Agriculture, and, yeah, mm-hmm. Great.
You might mention about what's happening to David Alvarez right now.
Oh, David Ramirez.
Yeah, Alvarez.
Do you want to talk about that, Marcy? Can you
Yeah,
talk
I
about
don't know a
that?
lot about, but David Ramirez at Alvarez is kind of the outreach guy at the Cuban embassy, and I think he's the second secretary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or, who's the other guy who spoke?
Adrian Heredia. But David Ramirez is kind of Ambassador Liana Torres Rivera, kind of right-hand man,
Yeah.
right?
So, he does a lot of outreach with groups, and he talks about, you know, policy changes in the United States and what we could do, and the U.S. has decided to target him, and that he's doing, what he's doing is illegal, and that he's encouraging legislative lobbying, and he's telling people what to lobby, and I'm concerned for him. You know, he may not be able to stay in the United States because of that. I don't know how much they're gonna go after him, so that's a really, you know, that's a thing about being in the embassy, in the Cuban embassy, is you have to be really careful because they really wanna just get you, and they really limit where you can travel to and what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But I know several people probably here met David when he was here with the ambassador. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing that up. That's important.
I have an idea. It seems that this group is focused on Cuba, but there are other countries in the world that have been hurt by the United States, obviously. And,
Venezuela for one, especially.
What?
Yeah.
Venezuela, especially.
Yes, exactly. I think it would be helpful to work with other groups. For example, there's a Palestine rally every Friday at Summit and Snelling, and I'm sure that they would welcome you as speakers to that rally. There's other groups. I don't know all of them, but I do know about that one.
This is a really terrible time in Latin America. There's all kinds of turbulence in Bolivia, in Honduras, in Peru, and it's really important that we keep, they're gonna go after Colombia now, the president of Colombia, and so it's really important that we also kind of connect what's happening in Cuba to all of these countries, because it's no different. It's the same thing. They're going after the left-wing government, so. I don't know if, is John, John, you know, John is from Peru, and, you know, there's just been a lot of electoral turbulence right now.
Yeah, the Peruvian government is has been seized by the right, the ultra-right, that autocratic government. Even the magazine The Economist says it's a hybrid government. Other organizations that monitor democracy around the world is almost about to be an autocratic government. Yeah, these guys in government actually they expelled the Cuban ambassador.
Oh.
We don't have a Cuban ambassador in Lima.
Wow.
Well, it's not. They did it like couple of years ago, or maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when they dismissed or deposed the elected president, Pedro Castillo, who is the elected president is in jail, and the people who lost the elections are in power. So they changed more than 50 articles in the Constitution without without a constituent assembly. So this mafia that is governing the country through Congress, they have co-opted almost all the state apparatus. The only branch of resistance right now in the Peruvian state apparatus is the judicial party, and the electoral judiciary, just part, and even part of it is already taken. So it's very sad situation right now in Peru. And Mexico, thanks to Mexico that they gave asylum to the family of President Castillo, who is again unlawfully, unconstitutionally deposed from the executive power, and then his family is in Mexico, his wife and daughter, but pretty soon there is going to be a runoff from this current period of elections, June the 7th, between this Fujimori coalition with the ultra-right and the candidate that President Castillo appointed, Roberto Sanchez. There's a big fight at the level of everything is going on behind the court, because Fujimori is not gonna concede defeat, so they are preparing to cry fraud if they start losing. And
Just like here. It sounds familiar. Yeah.
her fourth defeat in a row. If this happens, she already lost 3 times in a row.
Wow.
And obviously, it's protected by this country. So the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador in Lima, is a Gusano from Miami. He's a businessman, this retail guy, millionaire from the Cuban American guy, friend of Rubio, and he donated for the Trump campaign. And now he's not a diplomatic of career. He's just a businessman, and now he was appointed ambassador. And the first thing he did was to bribe the president, because Peru has had 8 presidents in the last almost 10 years, appointed by Congress, not elected. So the presidency is just a farce. This guy bribed the previous president so the government signed a contract to buy 24 F-16 instead of the Rafael aircraft, French airplanes that were approved by the Air Force. They didn't care about what the Air Force said. They bought F-16s.
Well, I think one thing that we had thought about also in regards to your suggestion, Marcy's and John, was to sort of, connect what's happening in other countries such as Peru to what's happening in Cuba. And it would be great if we could do like a coffee hour regarding some of these issues, including the upcoming runoff election in Peru at the beginning of June.
Yeah, just to close the remarks, the new counselor or advisor for Keiko Fujimori for this runoff that is going to be June the 7th is another guy from Miami, a Cuban American guy.
Everybody's from Miami.
Specifically appointed to advise her for this runoff that is coming. I have his name here.
Why don't you
This guy,
have us talk about?
yeah, his name is Carlos Diaz Rosillo, Cuban American advisor to Keiko Fujimori for the runoff, June 7th, former director of public policy for the Donald Trump administration and director of the Adam Smith Center in Miami.
Can you say his name again? Can you say his name again?
Carlos Diaz Rosillo.
Yeah. Okay, so Marcy is suggesting that if anybody has like personally what you would want to do for Cuba in the upcoming weeks, I think was and one thing that was mentioned at last night's meeting, which I'll send out in the notes, is something that takes 2 seconds to do, is to sign for Cuba. I know people like Charlie have already signed it. There's a campaign initiated by the Cubans, and they're hoping to get 1 million signatures internationally called Firme por Cuba, Sign for Cuba. And it's a lot like what they did recently in Cuba for a resolution called La Patria se defiende, in defense of the homeland. Sorry.
Linda Helen sent me the link, and I'm going to send it to our mailing list tonight.
Awesome,
And
thank
it'll
you.
be on both the Cuba Committee and the Solidarity Committee of the Americas Facebook pages, so you can sign up right there. Go to the Facebook. I already saw it on your Facebook page, so.
Okay.
And we're gonna put it on tomorrow on the Solidarity, SCOTA.
Is there any publicity out yet for the June 7th report back meeting?
No, there's nothing. We're waiting on the flyer, but I'll follow up with that. And as soon as I get it.
I'll send it to you. Yeah,
Okay.
So publicize it.
Sounds good. Thanks. Thanks, August. Does anybody have any other suggestion or, ideas that they want to share? Yeah.
We're having a walk against weapons. This is Women Against Military Acts. That would be a wonderful place to have signs as you're marching.
No weapons in Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's on June 6th.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, it's over there.
Do you know
There might be flyers.
Is there a sign-up sheet over there?
We're marching.
Was it-
Did everybody sign this? Is that it?
Forward Edge.
Did you all sign it?
We did. Everybody need to sign this?
Subsidiary of Lockheed Martin.
Okay.
We're marching and we're meeting at a park near there, which I can't remember the name of.
I got the flyers for you.
Oh, great. Just read it.
Walk Against Weapons, Saturday, June 6th, 10:30, Langford Park, St. Paul. Anyway, here's your flyer for everybody that wants.
Maybe we
Awesome,
can make
thank
some
you.
signs for that.
Yeah, we could do the sign
At our
making
sign
party
making
before
party.
that, and
Yeah.
pass out some of the flyers.
No
that we were
weapons
talking about.
in Cuba.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that on Wham then too? That'll be put on the Wham too? that Walter didn't,
Yeah.
that's on William too.
Any other suggestions or ideas before we close up? I know it's a little after 6:30, so I don't want to keep the bookstore open too much longer.
Just a little update on Craig too.
Oh, yes, yes. Could we, Patrick, do you want to give us a little update about how Craig, most of you know Craig, who has been, you know, the anchor of Mayday Books for many, many decades. He's currently at Providence Place in Minneapolis recovering. So,
And we're having a hard time running the store without him, but we're learning. He says he'll be back in a week or two. He's been saying that for about a month. The infection is gone, and they want the open wound to completely heal up before they let him out. And then when they let him out, they're going to make him come back for the hip surgery.
hip replacement.
Hip replacement.
Wow.
But if he can get his mobility back, it's so important because, I mean, he couldn't even walk from here to his apartment across the parking lot above the hard times. He was sleeping here.
Oh,
And they're walking him twice a day now instead of once, and he lives to walk. I mean, that's the joy of his day. And he's watching a lot of westerns on TV.
And foreign news on YouTube.
Good.
And
Yeah.
CNN was driving him insane.
And do you, I mean, would Craig appreciate any volunteers or just guests stopping by?
You know, he'd love to talk.
Okay.
And the best times are like between 3 and 5 in the afternoon, or after 5:30, or on weekends. On weekends, he has nothing going on. A friend, Ann Ness, a friend of the bookstore, goes and walks him because she's a nurse, so she got permission. But he doesn't want gifts. You know, he's a man of very few. You know, he doesn't want you to bring stuff.
He doesn't want to clutter in his room there.
He has a very specific food choices. So, you know, if you were to bring him something to eat, he would like it to be something from, what's that fancy grocery store that has the
Byerly's and Lunds?
Oh yeah, that Byerly Lunds, and then there's another one, Kowalski's.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of their delis, nothing too chewable. And then he likes burgers from, what's that?
Culver's?
Culver's.
Yes.
Yeah, Culver's.
Cheeseburgers.
Yeah, and that's about it. I mean,
Okay.
it's very, very, yeah.
And he's at Providence Place, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Providence Place. And all you do, he's on the first floor, one of the first people, you just sign in and go to his room. He
Okay.
has the door open all the time unless somebody's in there working on it.
He's in room 1111?
Correct.
Okay. Got it. I'll put all that in the notes too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, in case anybody wants to visit.
It
Sharon?
seems like we should make some kind of a provision or determination of forming a little group that's all together that emergency.
Yes, rapid response.
If we're a chat,
Yeah.
wait.
But we
Cuba's
should have a little, like, if you wanna do that, then send a message to a certain person or something, so we know who wants to be on that little committee.
Okay, that's a great idea.
I'm talking about a committee, I guess, a
Yeah.
little committee just for that.
A rapid response subcommittee,
Yeah.
essentially. Okay, sounds good. So should what do people think about if I type up these notes in the next few days, send them out to the list that got passed around, and including maybe some other folks who couldn't be here, and then anybody who wants to be on a rapid response subcommittee, per Jairus's suggestion, can respond to that and say, count me in?
if you want to watch this, you can see it on SCOTA Facebook page.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Carla, for filming?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you. And Carla said to go on to SCOTA Facebook page if you want to see a recap of tonight's meeting.
Well, it won't be a recap. It will be this like.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks, that's great.
Do your own recapping, I think.
Yeah, good point. Okay, perfect. Okay. Anything else? Yes.
a Green Party person. I'll be outside here so we can empty the room, but I was trying to get signatures on the petition for our third party, Green Party candidate for Secretary of State for Minnesota. So I'll be at the top of the stair for anybody that is willing to sign.
Sure, okay, thank you.
I'm a WAM member too, and I just support the group by donations, and I'm not very active.
And this is for Secretary of State.
This is Minnesota Secretary of State for the Green Party. We need 2,000 Minnesota voters to sign by June 2nd. And also here at the bookstore, I've got